Hello everyone, and welcome to the Lost Harbor Tavern, or Lost Shipyard actually. I'm your host, Nitsify. Welcome to the second channel. In case you don't know, this is the Deadwood campaign. Congratulations. Not the Deadwood campaign. I lied to you. You're wrong. If you thought that, you're wrong. I want you to know that. Welcome to the
Deadwood's on the other channel. Get it right.
Yeah. Come on, viewers. Get with it. Get with the program. In case you don't know, my name is Nitsify. I'm not the DM in this one. I don't think I am. Am I? Am I the DM, Acrid?
Fucking no.
Okay.
Absolutely
cool.
not.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just need to clarify that. Got to double check. I don't know. Maybe it changes every week. You know, it's kind of like the morning market in Tomodachi. So, in case you don't know, this is a zombie apocalypse campaign. It is heavily homebrewed, and the zombies aren't actually zombies. They're kind of more wendigos. Temperatures are dropping, just like global warming, and, what else? We found people in a military base, and they're not all dead, just the majority of them. But we're getting them back to the library.
We escaped with 12 people.
Yeah, 12 people. I mean, hey, better than, 0.
Yep.
Gotta be worth something. Just ignore the other probably 50 bodies. Just ignore that.
A few hundred.
Yeah, we'll deal with that later, you know. That being said, that being said, I was about to do an outro. I was straight up about to do an outro, guys. It's happening again. Yeah, no,
not that trend.
Yeah, it's not really a trend. It's just my brain. As soon as I say like, but yeah, my brain goes to but yeah. Anyways, outro time. Like for some reason, but the two words together, but yeah, is weirdly a like immediate muscle memory reaction for me to go for an outro immediately. I don't know why, but it is. So
For some reason.
I think that's normally how I used to end my my streams, so I'm pretty sure that's why my brain goes to that being an outro. In case you don't know, I play Iva and Chi. I play the Lupin Librarian, literally just an everyday person, nothing, out of the ordinary from them. Literally just some librarian.
Bullshit.
Yeah, Speculate if you want, I'm just a librarian, that's all, nothing more, nothing less. We also have Chi, who is the human weapon, the military medic. Tabaxi, played by Anya.
I was gonna say, she is not human.
Yeah, not a human. You can't be if
she is a very small tabaxi.
Exactly.
And very floof.
If you think about it, humans are technically everything and nothing. Since they're base template, technically couldn't any human be any D&D race? They just have to equip the required cosmetics.
Anyways.
Are the fuzzball people technically just furries? Just born furries?
No.
There are significant differences between humans and furries.
So are you saying that furries aren't people?
No, that's not. No. We're going to
going down to a fucking deep rabbit hole here.
In the context of D&D, the fluffy folk are very different than the human people.
How do you think the bone structure looks for them? Like obviously it's the skulls are different, but
anyway.
We're gonna try and progress today.
We also have our DM Acrid, by the way.
Yeah, I'm here sometimes.
Yeah.
As a disclaimer, Acrid is sick at the moment, so his voice might just decide to go, fuck you.
Yeah.
I have been sick for
a few days.
The entire week.
Yeah, no, really. I was starting to feel it on Sunday, and it's still here. And it probably will still be here for Sunday. Again.
So, you probably won't be doing any voices. So do keep that in mind.
No.
Yeah.
Voices are not an option today, and his voice might decide to give out. So if he has to run to the little DM's room or has to get more tea to keep his throat sated. That is why.
Yeah, that's currently, I no joke, while he was doing it, before he started recording, I took a sip of tea. While he was doing the intro, I drank more tea. Yep. I just filled this. It's like 3/4 full now.
Yeah.
And he's got one of them super-sized cups.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's, it's gonna be one of those things. Just, when you hear him, when he says he's doing a character's voice, just pretend and, imagine, as he's saying it, that the voice is there. So use your imagination a bit. Be a little, play along. Maybe do it out loud. Do it aloud. It's okay if you're in public. Just do the voices out loud and mimic exactly what he says. It's part of getting engrossed in the character, everybody.
A bit of the theater of the mind, if you will.
Yeah. Luckily, the character I planned for y'all to talk to today,
is very monotone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And very robotic, even.
So, stuttering and crackling of the voice is perfectly acceptable.
Yes. Because, as you guys would be able to head back to base. And there wouldn't really be any issues. There would be a small group of creatures that y'all would fly over.
Yeah.
We do unfortunately have to fly through the night.
Yeah, y'all fly through the night and y'all arrive. I think it was day of day 8. Dawn of day 8, which is when y'all would arrive, effectively.
Yeah.
Or early morning of day 8.
No, that would be early morning, day 7.
Oh, sorry, day 7. Yeah, you're right.
We could just teleport back to day 3, but fair enough.
Day 6 comes to an end, and they go through the night into day 7.
Yeah, so as they would arrive early morning of day 7, they would see the rooftops are not as empty as they used to be. Also, while they're flying, they would start to feel the hover vehicle that they've been, the old reliable, starts to shake as if the hover generators are starting to sputter. It's staying in the air, but it's really not by a lot. So when it lands and turns off, you really get the feeling it's not turning back on until it's charged.
Sadly, they have no way of contacting the people back at the library.
They do land at the library with that.
Okay.
And they would find that the rooftop is not as empty as it once was. As there is this box that looks like if you kick it wrong, it will explode. As there are a lot of wires that are not fully exposed sticking out of it.
Sounds about right.
You would see that there is an umbrella above it that was set up as probably a just in case by Trevor.
Yep.
I don't think it's gonna rain, but just in case so it doesn't explode.
Better safe than sorry.
I am going to reference a comment that was made on not this most recent video, but the one before.
Yeah.
Where Reaper has pointed out that yes, it was mentioned on day 2 about the charging stations for the vehicles.
Alright, yeah, no, I just forgot. And yeah. I also think that Trevor got pulled into a couple missions so he couldn't work on it. If I remember right, he was on day 2 and day 3 missions. He was on stuff.
Yeah, he was on some stuff, I think. I know he got sent to unhook the pole for Sosho back when a tragedy struck in the stripper's place. And I think he got brought to the armory because we needed him to be able to make sure that he could get those vans running, the vehicles running over
Yeah.
there. So he has been we have had to kind of take him away from his projects from time to time.
Yeah, so that's at least my reasoning. Also, I forgot, full transparency there. This is why we do recaps, people, because we aren't going to remember everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But upon y'all's arrival, you guys would run into a wide awake, very wide awake Sosho, who's heading upstairs as y'all are coming inside, followed by a very tired looking Trevor, who very clearly woke up maybe 5 minutes ago.
Damn.
Chi, who has not slept at all because she was driving, mirrors Trevor.
Yeah. You guys, I'm assuming, would go rest, as the bulk of y'all haven't slept.
There's like whiskers in all different directions. Her fur is mussed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that people like Nylan haven't slept because they were just in case something went wrong.
Yeah.
There's also that thing of like there was light shakes from the car while driving, so it's like we're gonna make it, right? Like that was a tiny concern that started to poke into the heads of a few people for y'all's vehicle, because it was like an hour out, it started like quivering randomly for like 2 minutes, and then it would go back to being a perfectly steady flight, and then like 10 minutes later it starts shaking again, and you're like, we're gonna make it, right? Right?
Hopefully.
Yeah, because instead of the little fuel light popping up for like vehicles, like for vehicles for us, for y'all's world, there's not really a light that pops up saying, hey, low battery. It's your vehicle starts physically shaking because the hover system is starting to deactivate, and they figured that was more than enough an alert to let you know, hey, go get fucking charged.
Yeah.
And also, because of the rampant warnings that were always given out when people were sold these vehicles, a lot of people had the impulse charge, where, like, at random points, the vehicle's showing no signs of being low power, they would just charge it to full just cuz. Because then more like half the populace didn't actually know how to check the energy gauge.
Yeah.
So they would just, I haven't charged in like a week. I'm gonna go charge my car.
I do have to know, Chi, is the shaking enough to make you concerned so that you are actually awake? Abso-fucking-lutely. Okay, with a natural 18, she's not going to bed yet.
She is running on pure adrenaline. What's Iva doing?
Breathing.
How's Iva doing? How is Iva doing?
How is Iva doing? I mean, she didn't have to drive, so...
I'm assuming she caught a nap.
She probably got some sleep.
Yeah. She caught some beauty sleep, and then the car shook, and she's like, why are we shaking? No, we're fine.
Why does the car shake? Don't worry about it. We're fine.
We're fine. We're gonna make it.
Says it just as much to calm or to get Iva to go back to sleep as it is to calm Riley.
Dude, I like the idea. I know she doesn't have the explosive that Shosho gave her anymore, but I really like the idea of her just being like, why is the car shaking? Like, beginning to wake up, and the first thing she's reaching for is not the gun, it's where the explosive was.
Let's make sure that lid stays shut. Because if that thing opens, this car is no longer a car. It is a fireball, and it is approaching the ground at Mach 2.
Exactly.
She's also... that it would have also been that thing of take a look at Nylon and Mao and just have that look of don't say a word. I know both of you know damn well what's going on. Shut up. Don't say anything.
This reminds me of that thing back in The Walking Live.
Anyways. Alright, so
Sorry.
So, as you guys would walk down, others of the group would... Some would go sleep. Some would show, like, Riley heads over just to go and exist. Nylan heads in and promptly makes sure everybody else makes it inside, and then sits in a chair, and as far as anyone can tell, dies. like his head, he sits down and his head just hits the wall and he's gone. His soul leaves his body. He is asleep.
She has to make sure all the people from her old base get settled in.
Yeah.
And fed.
Yeah, no, luckily you guys do have an early riser in the form of, also to y'all's joy, you guys would see that Catelyn is awake.
Okay.
She is.
Hang on a minute, we need to pause.
And we're back.
Yay.
Things happened. Had to be dealt with immediately, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't lie. I was confused as hell. Okay. So, how is Iva looking when she...
Oh. Internet, why now? We were doing fine. Like, literally, we weren't having a problem, Internet. Hello?
The hell?
The Internet decided at that very moment, now would be the time that it would turn Acrid into a robot. You're good now. Don't know why it did that. It was like, you were like, okay. Like...
So what I was trying to ask before I got rudely interrupted by Door.
Yeah.
And everything else.
Yeah.
What Iva doing?
Iva be doing. I mean, she's probably not gonna ask Bob the stuff just yet because she obviously wants to have Chi there to hear all the stuff too. However, she has stuff she needs to do anyways. What people are currently up right now?
So right now you are seeing that. Let me go through the gang. You can see that Catelyn has been moved from the middle of the floor to a slightly better area for resting.
Okay.
Which means that likely at some point she woke up.
Okay.
And is likely doing better, though she still got shot in the leg twice.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So she
oh my God.
and
pause. Are you serious? We're back. Okay, so Catelyn rested. Good. Okay, what?
Yeah.
Dude, every single time. I was just trying to figure out who's up.
Yeah, no, so, like, for people who are up, the list is actually quite small. There's Sosho, there's Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
Sosho, you don't know how long he's been awake.
Yeah.
Tomio seems... You can kind of see him moving around downstairs.
Yeah.
And he seems to be helping Sydney with something. Which would make sense, because she got shot.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's probably having to play runner.
Probably.
So you can see that some of the more people who are not as abled are playing sprinters for the more capable.
Yeah.
Like Tomio, yes, he's a multi-tool and he has a lot of tools, but he's really only good on a chemistry kit, and then he sits there and looks at anything else and is like, hi, I'm here.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do.
Yeah. And then you would see, I would say you'd be able to see that Kylo is awake.
Okay.
You can tell that he's probably nearing the end of his, like, he's getting to the point where he's about to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because he was probably just up during the night. Since there's just this almost like, alright, just in case something happens, because we don't have many defense people right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Since the more capable of defense people are gone.
Yeah. And, he seems to be about to wake up, Silas. So,
Okay.
Silas has probably been taking daytime, while Kylo's been taking night.
Yeah. That would make sense.
While Trevor and Sosho have been playing fixers, and the medics have been playing medic. But that's kind of it for people who are up and, like, able. Everyone else is just either resting or on bed rest from injuries.
Yeah. Okay, so...
And then there's Bob. Right, Bob. Yeah, he's...
Bob exists.
Yeah, Bob exists. Bob's
ready and able.
Considering that she's trying to make sure right now that, she's trying to make sure that the, her people are kind of, like, settled. I'm not going to touch Bob just yet.
Yeah.
However, I would like to go to Kylo before he goes to pass out.
Yeah, that's fair. He gave you a nod as you walk up. It's that, like, greeting of, I see you're here. Good.
Good.
And I see there's a ton of people. Yeah, alive.
Alright. Do you want to give me a rundown on, if you found any information on blocking the usage of Arcana, hopefully as a countermeasure, because, many people aren't awake right now. Maybe we should go to a different room just in case. There's information you might want to learn.
Right. Of what's happened here, I found that it was me. I looked into it. Trevor's been playing Don't Let Sosho Explode. So he hasn't been too available, but I can't blame him. So Rizaku also is still kind of... He's not really asleep right now, but since Trevor's already been doing it, he's letting Rizaku actually get a break.
Yeah.
So Kylo did look into it, and what he found was there is... what he found was some old a book talking about how there is a rune of some kind that you could carve into mana users to essentially block the mana stream.
Okay.
Which, if he had to guess, he remembers hearing about Chi having to cut something off of Nylon. So that might be the same thing.
Yeah.
Those might be one and the same.
Okay. But there's no direct, like, at least from what information he's got, there's no direct, like, essentially a form of counter spell or something like that he's kind of figured out. No, like, proper...
From what the books he found, no. He would mention Bob was scanning pages at a rate that seemed like he scanned through the entire book.
Yeah.
That you gave him.
Yeah.
And he's pretty sure at one point he saw light bits of steam coming off of Bob's processors.
That's not good.
I mean, it makes sense because you said like that book was as thick as a goddamn dictionary.
Yeah, it was a massive book with a ton of information, and you handed it to him and said, "I need you to scan this and find anything useful." So, of the 48 hours y'all were gone,
yeah,
Bob spent 38 of those scanning.
God.
Just page after page. Back to 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 back. Just scanning, processing, scanning, processing. So his processor never stopped working.
Yeah.
Because he started scanning while he was still processing the page before, kind of how people like to skim read.
Yeah.
But since he's a robot, he can't miss information.
Yeah.
While skimming, quote unquote. So he just kind of built up a small backlog that he had to scan after scanning it that he was processing. So for 38 hours roundabout, his processor was just constantly going, and about 36 hours in, his processors were lightly starting to steam because the coolant was like, "Hey, are we almost done?"
That makes sense.
He also did see Bob not long after he finished that. He then promptly sat there and got a small loading screen for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then walked over to his charging station and shut the fuck down.
Valid. Don't blame.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
So, weirdly enough, we might be able to find some more information off of Bob when it comes to the mana. It's not guaranteed because it's more about Wendigos, but sorry, excuse me. But at least we might be able to get some more information off that. But it doesn't sound like we really got a whole lot from Kylo.
No, Kylo. Of what books are TM readily available?
Yeah. Yeah.
He was able to find that, yes, there are ways to block a user's mana stream, and he is pretty sure he did find out that if you damage a mana user's abdomen enough, they kind of lose access to their mana pool. Because the mana is kind of just escaping their body before their body can collect it to use it.
Mm-hmm.
That's...
If anything, that's good if we're fighting another mana user, but definitely not a way to cancel the infection. That might actually make it go faster.
Yeah, no. He sat there. He said it was he was like, "This is something I will state in case we run across an evil Nylon or Ryu, but otherwise, no."
Yeah.
But I tried, type of thing. But he would also fully admit, he does not think he did what he could for searching.
Yeah.
But he was also having to bounce between full defense and reading and sleeping. So he's like, I didn't find a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't expect him to be able to find a ton. I just didn't know how much he'd be able to find.
He did find the mana blocker thing, which I guess if you guys can restrain a Wendigo for like 2 turns that has mana, you might be able to carve it into it and like have or like remove its abilities entirely. Yeah. So now you're just fighting a Wendigo that, like, if it's, say, Tazon, instead of it being this lightning conduit of a fucking Wendigo, it's just a little Sparky. It's
yeah. That does beg a question. Because she does know that sigil.
Yeah, she did carve it out of somebody, yeah.
Were you forced to learn how to carve that into somebody?
I doubt it. I would say that DC would be high.
That is a 17.
Alright, you were taught one time for an emergency. Like, specifically for this mission.
Okay, so Chi, unfortunately, was told, you learned this. You will be able to do this.
Yeah, like, she was taught it enough. It was like the thing of an emergency case. Like, in case Nyland damaged his own rune somehow. Like, carve a new one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something that Chi, I guess, for Chi in the background, if that ever comes up to Chi, she can unfortunately say, yes, I do know how.
She doesn't want to know how.
Huh?
She doesn't want to know how.
No, because it really goes against what her mana stands for.
That goes against what she stands for.
Yeah. Anyways, what's next for Iva?
Next up would be the fact of, since Osho is awake, checking to see if, because I know he was already working on stuff, I do want to check to see if he had time to work on the taser bats.
I will roll. Okay. Okay. So, while you were talking to Kylo, she went and got everybody got the people downstairs, at which Tomio lightly takes over and lets them know where food is.
Yeah. Mainly
because the only reason why I say he does that for you is he's already running to grab food.
That's fair.
So it's literally just, he comes out with food, seizes a bunch of new people, and just his ears flop in the most like, alright, well I guess y'all can have this.
Oh man.
And people would be able to meander around. The more capable, such as Cade, who definitely did catch some sleep, would kind of relieve Kylo a bit. Like, hey, you can go take a rest. I'll watch. Like, some of us we're more able-bodied. We're not as injured as you guys. Well, sure, we're tired, but we can still help.
Yeah.
But most of them do catch some sleep and food to alleviate their levels of exhaustion. Cade is the only one who didn't have any levels of exhaustion. Likely because he probably has a cybernetic to help prevent that.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
So he's like, I'm gonna help out. He still eats food though, I'm not gonna lie.
I would fucking hope so.
He catches some food. He's like, yes. Something other than like rationed beef jerky. Some damn potato chips.
I'm gonna be real, if he didn't get some food, she was gonna look at Sergeant Ramirez and go, Sergeant, I don't mean to step on your toes here. They need to eat.
Yeah, no. Everybody goes and gets food. So that's good. While you would be able to finish up with what you're doing there. Right around when Iva would be heading upstairs to go and figure out what the fuck Sosho's doing. and figure out if he worked on any taser bats.
Yep.
Right, so Iva's going to see if Sosha worked on taser bats. At the same time, Chi is going to see what the fuck the box is.
Hell yeah. Heading up, cutting to Iva first, and then she would be able to show up, like, probably, like, 30 seconds to, like, a minute later. Like, 2 minutes later. So, like, Iva walks up and sees Sosho is, like, closing up the box, having now, like, stuffed the excess wires into it.
Yeah.
The ones that were sticking out weirdly. He's like, alright. There you go. And I want to mention, it, like, the way Trevor is holding that umbrella off to the side, it really just looks like something out of a funeral scene. Because he just looks so tired. You get the feeling it might also be less of he's tired because he hasn't slept, and also just Sosho is exhausting for like everyone but Rizaku.
Oh man.
Sosho is exhausting to deal with.
Yeah.
With his absolute abandonment of safety measures.
Oh boy.
But yeah, Rizaku, luckily, this would be the day that he would likely be taking back over, as the tear gas and his own injuries would be finally wearing off completely. And the medic is going to leave him alone.
Yeah.
And be like, fine, you can go back to doing your regular scheduled stuff, i.e. make sure your teacher doesn't blow up.
That'd be good.
Yeah, Sosho would be grabbing a handmade outlet of wire that's connected to a bunch of wires that comes off the back of that box.
Mm-hmm.
The wires are covered, luckily.
Okay.
Luckily.
That's good.
And he would turn holding this very much live outlet and looks at you like, yeah, what do you need?
Let's go. It's good to see you, Sasha. You're still alive. Good to see. Have you gotten any time to work on the taser bats?
Taser bats. Taser. Yes. Yes. He would.
Uh-huh.
Is that cough cannon?
Huh?
Is that cough cannon?
No, that's my throat going, hi, have a day.
Oh, okay. It was a valid question. I'm sorry.
No, you're validated. Sosho would say, yes. And then there's that, like, pause where you can see his brain is thinking, and then he goes, yes, again. That's like a confirmation of... He said yes off of reflex, and then thought about it, and then went, yes. Like, okay, yes, no, I have worked on these. He did get 3 bats worked on.
Okay.
And functional.
Cool. Cool.
He has also created the box, which he calls it the box, as Chi walks up, only hearing that part of the conversation. She hears, I have created the box.
I am concerned as to what that is.
It should, if my calculations are correct, and you hear Trevor go, the napkin.
The what?
I.e. like napkin notes, where you just write on a napkin.
Yeah.
That's basically what Sosho did to figure this out, to make sure it would work.
No, but that was Chi asking for clarification.
Yeah. Trevor would just... Sosho go, this should, with all calculations correct, not blow up the cars and instead charge them.
That
Right.
would be good, because I'm pretty sure we're running low on one of the cars. Tater bats are good, though, at least. That would be useful.
Is that ready to be tested? Have you made sure that it won't explode?
I have not run a single test. I'm testing it right now. He walks over to the dead car.
That might take a minute to actually register if it's charging or not.
Quite all right. An outlet of my own creation. He kicks the car. Trevor looks like he's about to wring this fucking fox's neck.
She just sets a paw on his shoulder.
He's an engineering professor. He may seem like he doesn't understand, but I can assure you, he most likely does.
Most likely, it's crazy.
The fact that you're so confident in his abilities is concerning.
You know all those metal shutters we have in the library?
Uh-huh.
He made those.
I'm still
That
concerned.
doesn't make sense on why the button works the way it does.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. The amount of random things I've gotten him to make for me is marvelous.
Yeah, so you'd see Sosho kick a panel and it pops open, revealing a brick of like a cube, like a rectangle that's within the car. That you guys would realize, like the back seat, like the middle seats, like the right after the driver's seats.
Mm-hmm.
Those sit on top of that, which you realize is probably the giant fuel cell that powers this fucking car. And you see there is an outlet type there that is not technically sold to people for reasons such as people like Sosho.
Oh man.
So
Sosho, please don't damage my car.
and with a little bit of this, it should work just fine as he plugs in his handmade outlet into the battery. And then immediately looks at the box. Not the car. The box.
She looks concerned.
Fun fact, everyone. I rolled it, which, by the way, y'all would be closer to the box than the car. So technically, out of anyone right now, Sosho's the safest, because he's next to the car.
No, I'm gonna be real. She's next to the car. She doesn't trust the box. She does not trust the box.
I'm placing full faith in the social. We'll stand right beside the box.
Hell yeah. Just so you guys know, when y'all left, I rolled a D100. There was a DC, and if Sosho beat it, he would successfully make a charging station. The DC was altered because he did not have Rizaku, and he had instead Trevor, which was both a buff and a hindrance. Because Rizaku knows Sosho better, so he's able to judge what Sosho's doing easier. But Trevor knows cars better.
I feel like it should have been the both of them helping him, not just one.
Well, Rizaku literally couldn't.
He was sadly injured.
Yeah, he was on mandatory don't get off your ass or I'm gonna hurt you. By both medics.
Oh man.
Even though one of them can't walk, and the other one's just hurt.
Yeah.
She is questioning that. They could have just moved him onto the roof.
No, that's fine.
I don't know if
In
we
any
were on the
case,
roof since we just got attacked by a SWAT team recently.
yeah, no, that was the other
He
thing.
just gets shot just while he's lying on the roof.
Yeah, no, they also just straight up were like, we don't know if there's going to be another group. We also don't know where the Hoppins or the creatures are. So everybody's inside.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I think that would be of noted. is the box begins to make a very loud humming noise and starts to lightly shake.
Like a bee.
Yeah. Which Sosho seems to react as if that's perfectly fine, as a little tiny, barely noticeable, I'm not even joking, tire gauge. Style, you know, like things where you just poke it on a tire. It has a little meter to show how full it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He took one of those and like wired it up so it would show how full the battery is.
God.
And you see that gauge start to move and then immediately stop after having ticked up like half a millimeter off of empty.
Okay.
Which effectively means y'all were at like 1% battery when you landed.
She does not say anything. She was already aware of this.
Yeah. Which Sosho would walk over and then give the most grand. It worked.
All right.
My math was flawless.
Here, I'd have
always.
thought he'd be confused and try tapping on it a couple of times. Like, is this thing working? Because of how low it is.
Oh no, he stares at it and then it's like, nah, it's probably fine. We'll come back and check it in 40 minutes. If it hasn't moved, then there's something wrong.
Oh man.
Because he was informed, luckily, again, this is one of the benefits of him having worked with Trevor. Trevor mentioned that when that car lands, its battery is going to be very low. So seeing a very low battery is like, oh, well, at least it's reading properly.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been able to test that. This has been all from napkin math.
Oh man.
As Sosho beat the DC, even with only the tiny nerf of having Trevor, it only increased his DC by 2. Because Sosho is capable, so instead of a 60 in the D100, it was 62.
Yeah.
Just as like that slightly like, You don't have your flawless student, but you have someone who actually knows cars, which has its own benefit.
Yeah. Yeah. Has its use.
Like which is why he was able to make his own outlet, and they didn't just go rob one.
True.
Which, that would have been a thing that Sosho would have been like, alright, we're gonna go get an outlet. And there's like a small, like, Sosho walks out with like Trevor. And they're gonna go get an outlet.
Oh man.
And it's either Kylo knocks them both out with a wrench. Or somebody injured's getting off their ass and going with them. Which it probably would have been Silas going with them, and the most like, I mean, we need it. This is a bad idea. But luckily, he didn't have to do that. And hence the slightly raised DC was literally from him making an outlet from scratch.
Yeah.
Making like the port that's plugged in. He made that from bits of metal and plastic. And some spare wires.
She hits him with the most deadpan. Are you certain this is going to work? And not cause problems for the car?
No! Never tested it, so we'll find out when it's done charging.
Granted, we can have Trevor look at it later on, just to make sure, see if it did do any damage, and considering this, we can always just find another car. It's not the end of the world.
I will say, at the mention of, like, Trevor's slightly behind Sosho, and there's that thing of you're like, we can have Trevor check the car. There's that violent, rapid nodding of, like, you damn right I'm checking the car.
Oh yes, Trevor, we've got 2 other vehicles for you.
I'm coming.
Okay. I'll add it to my list.
Oh, no, one of them is going to be in pristine condition. Sergeant never let anybody else take his car out.
Flawless.
Ah, boy. Got Rena.
Awesome. You would see Rizaku would poke his head upstairs. He like pokes his head around the corner and he goes like, good to see y'all are back.
How have you been doing?
Sleeping. By order of the medics. So I feel better.
That's good to see you're at least alive. You're not dying in your sleep. That's a good thing.
Yeah, and good to see y'all are back. Last time I woke up, I was informed that everybody was essentially on lockdown and people running this were gone.
Yeah.
By a certain military base and got some people.
I wasn't leaving my sergeant behind.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I guess, Trevor, I can take over for you in dealing with Sosho.
Not until I've checked over your injuries.
Alright, okay. I mean, mine were minor.
I'd still like to make sure there's no side effects.
Well, not minor. I would actually know that's a lie. Yeah, so, going back up to the notes, Rizaku was shot twice.
Yeah.
Hence why he was on, you bitch, don't move.
Yep.
However, with Chi's healing, mana helping him out, because Chi did make a point to go to Rizaku.
Yep.
His knee, which was the biggest concern for her, I'm gonna be honest, did heal up fine. His shoulder's still good, needing some bandaging, because the knee was more urgent than his shoulder.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so he is doing better. He is functional, effectively. There's the thing of, no, you are capable, it's just your,
She looks at him and just, no heavy lifting with that shoulder.
got it. I can do that.
Otherwise, you look like you're healing up. About as good as I can do. All things considered.
Wonderful. Hopefully that trend remains.
Just don't push yourself, because that'll be very easy to regress.
Yeah, I think it. Luckily, I don't have to walk far following Sosho.
I'd prefer it if we had a set of crutches for you, but unfortunately we don't.
I haven't moved in like 2 days. I think I'm good.
We can all.
That just means that the muscles have a chance of being fatigued from staying in one position for too long.
Huh?
The muscles, if they're in the same position for too long, can go stiff and have fatigue because of the tension.
Yeah, he'll take fatigue. However, continuing to sit on his ass. But yeah.
It would basically be a, just move slowly.
Yeah, he would. So yeah, y'all would find out Fox is currently repairing your is not repairing, is currently charging your car? Probably.
Probably, yeah.
Hopefully.
I have to say probably, because there is the genuine thing of y'all don't actually know.
Oh, man. I mean, I got the main thing out of the way with Sosho. I don't know if she wants to go talk with Bob, get that information out of the way. Also, technically, I will let you know, it actually wouldn't be too hard to make a crutch if we wanted. Because I know it's like, oh, well, in America, we have what is known as an underarm crutch. I would like to recommend the better option that would actually be easier to make, probably. And all it would take is just some metal scraps, which we know who knows how to weld here. I'm just going to put that out there. There's someone who knows how to weld to make this. Forearm crutches are a thing. They're used in literally any other country that isn't America. And they have been shown to actually be easier to use and also better, just medically speaking, better for the person to use. Like, it's just better. We're just bad. If we wanted, I know obviously we don't need to. If we wanted, forearm crutch would probably be the better option. Oh, man.
It's a question of, does Iva bring it up?
Oh, yeah, no, she definitely brings it up. I was just trying not to interrupt.
Fair.
Because, like, as soon as you guys went that, you guys immediately started doing a tangent to the next thing. I was like, well, I'm a wait.
That's fair. In
that instance, she would hit the hardest. Well, you can make them.
Show starts crafting.
There it is. As expected.
I'm sorry, I love the Sosho starts crafting.
Oh, man.
But yeah, y'all can head to Bob. He really is just standing. It's the most just like, you guys get back. There's the one character with an exclamation mark, i.e. Bob, like in a video game where you do all the side shit.
They have one of the little red thought bubbles, and it has like little squiggly lines going around, and there's like a weird, like kind of dreary music playing, like when you get near them.
Like, that seems important. I'll be back.
Andrew Tomodachi like music here.
Please make sure all other side quests are done before continuing the main.
I beg your pardon?
This is the point of no return. Are you sure you wish to proceed? Type shit.
Dude, I can't even lie. He is really standing there like an NPC out of a video game because he's a robot. Yeah. He will just stand there. He's not gonna follow y'all or try to get y'all to talk to you. He's just gonna wait.
Yeah, I mean, he's got time. He's technically saving his energy by doing that. So
yeah, no, it's like statistically, it is a waste of energy for me to go and follow them.
Exactly.
Eventually, they will come to talk to me.
Dude, I also love in video games. It's the most like in a video game. This is urgent. Anyways, I'm gonna go do these 45 side quests. I'll catch you in like 3 years.
Oh man. Oh jeez. But yeah, Bob. How you doing,
Bob? Bob would look to Iva and then would look to Chi, who I assume also has wandered over.
Yep.
Bob,
give us the information in a private room if we can.
Bob
we don't want everybody hearing this.
Bob pivots, walks And then pauses and looks at Iva in the most like, what room? Where go?
Going to the lounge.
I was gonna say, do you have an office or something? Because I'm pretty sure the lounge is currently being taken up by more people.
Oh, you moved them there. Okay, yeah, we can. I gotta show that up. Okay,
There wasn't really many other places to put 12 people.
Yeah, okay, okay. I prefer to keep it hidden. Just remove it from your memory when we're done with this.
Oh my god. I'm not going to tell anybody about anything.
Okay. You know, that's what all the feds say, but I'll believe you. And
What would I have to gain from it?
Listen, you never really know, okay? That's something I learned throughout life. You never fully know. This could all just be a staged thing, for all we know.
Oh
I
my
doubt
god.
it, but it's never out of the question.
Bro, that's some crazy actors.
Listen.
And this is staged.
If it was all part of a big plan that the people wanted to try and kill the majority of the people just for the 1% to live, then in how they wish to live, then it wouldn't be out of the question. Now that being said, if you'll follow me to the staircase, we're going to go to the basement.
You have a basement?
Yes, well, I don't like to show it off, but you know the stairs that you use to go up? We're gonna go to the side here. And she's gonna lead you to the side. And it looks like it's just kind of like a little wall area. And then she starts pushing into the wall. And there's very specific areas that push inwards, which shouldn't happen. And you start hearing a little ding, 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 ding. And then the fucking door, this random ass wall door opens. Rizuku. Oh, not Rizuku, Sasha.
No, I'm not surprised.
Sasha's great work.
Alright, down we go.
I'm sorry, I love the fact that Bob literally was starting to emit steam, and all anyone else here could do was watch, because they're like, he just ignores us, he's got some fucking objective, and he doesn't give a damn what everyone else thinks.
He has his mission. He doesn't care.
I scanned book. Bob, we're dying over here. I scanned the book while choking a man out.
Yeah, you technically told all to like protect. I can really just imagine he's got one hand, he's got a book in his hand, and in the other one he has a Harrigan's like throat. Like fucking slamming a Harrigan through the table.
Task assigned. Objective required to complete. Do not disturb. Do not disturb.
Yeah,
Dude,
no,
it's
really.
the most like slightly closes book, turns, grabs face of enemy. Do not interfere. Start.
Interruption is not allowed. Do not interrupt.
It's like having a freaking like PSI like air crusher, like you know, like the ones where they put a can or a random item underneath it and you see it like slowly crush the item. It's that, except it's just some dude's skull. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is
That is how mechanicals work.
Oh man.
Oh man. Alright, well.
So they head down into the basement.
Yeah.
Bob follows.
Of course.
I question how Bob can get down the stairs.
Don't worry about it.
Carefully.
Oh man.
I mean, he's not as tall as Iva. If Iva can fit, he can fit.
Yeah.
It has previously been canonized. During the attack, he stayed on the main floor because he could not go up the stairs. This was canonized.
Well, these stairs are metal.
It's gotta be a specific material. He looked at the fucking like carpeted like wooden staircase and went, nah, not good enough for me.
plate steel having fucking stairs.
You see the basement which looks like it's straight out of like a fucking sci-fi lab type shit. The fucking white metal flooring, white walls, fucking like emergency lighting looking ass thing that you'd see like a spaceship type shit, like Star Trek type lighting.
If you let Social design it, yeah, probably.
Yeah. She probably wouldn't care too much about it, like looking over the top nice either. So there's probably you can probably see the wires. Oh man.
There's one wire that got caught in between the plates, and Social really hit the hardest. It's probably not that important.
Where'd the budget for building the library go? You know, it's just furniture costs a lot, and then there's all the books, and you know. I had to make the lounge room somewhat nice. Basement.
And all of the hidden compartments.
Yeah, no, really. Oh, man.
Well, you know, there's overhead, you gotta pay the workers, you gotta make sure everything's sorted out.
There's the metal
Books
blinds.
cost money,
Yeah.
you know. Gotta make sure the foundation is sturdy.
Yeah. Don't worry about whatever's in that fucking basement. Don't worry about it.
Don't
Hey,
worry
why
about
do
the
these
amount.
plans extend down, but there's nothing there?
Don't worry
In case the
about it.
library wants to expand later.
We're
Duh.
thinking ahead of time. It's for the future. Well, we might, who knows, if a tornado hits, we're going to need a tornado protection area. Yeah. A shelter.
A tornado shelter?
Yes, that's what, yeah. Yeah, are you back talking?
You know
I pay
that's
your
going to
wages.
need to be
I pay
inspected.
you. I don't have to pay. It's just fucking bribe. Dude.
Anyway.
Fucking sniper rifle in hand, you know, I pay you.
Anyway.
Is that a threat? Yeah, anyway.
Talking a lot of shit for someone who accepts my money.
You're getting a little nosy there, buddy.
You know, Catelyn, who's wandered down here twice on accident and really just never pieced anything together.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, Iva definitely came down here one time and found us a coffee for her. And it was like, I know who this is from. When and why?
How?
Oh man. Dude.
They do know most of the secret compartments simply because they're like book.
Yeah, because book. Yeah, they need to know it for that type of information in case they need to look into it for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They're like backup Ivas.
Yeah, it's definitely like I was like, in case I ever die and the government comes for me, here's what you need to know. Oh man, I feel like her area is definitely like you get down into that freaking office and there's just the most like you've got freaking like chalkboards of just madman writing. You've got like the freaking like theorization, like bulletin boards with all sorts of shit going every single which way on different theories about different things. You've got like, I feel like there's definitely a bunch of different concoctions of like who knows what fucking type of potions doing what, like on some random ass shelves. I feel like she definitely is that person where like probably not magical artifacts, but just like normal actual IRL artifacts you kind of see in today's times. Like I feel like she definitely has some type of random fucking artifacts just down there, like shit she should not have, like in like a glass cases, like.
Yo, it's crazy. She's got the
Okay.
Mona Lisa.
This is gonna make me sound and feel. This is gonna make me sound and feel really old, but literally my mind is just going to, in the movie Atlantis, Milo in the boiler room.
Milo and the boiler room, Atlantis. Let me see. I've actually seen this guy. I just don't remember this movie that well. Like, I actually have seen this movie. I genuinely just don't remember anything. But why can I not find a good picture of the boiler room?
But it just has, like, all sorts of knickknacks and trinkets and all things like that. Just scattered around.
Dude.
As he's, like, trying to decode what language the Shepherd's journal is written in.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I honestly don't even remember the plot or anything about that, like, movie. I do remember watching it, though, because I remember the character, and I can kind of picture the voice. But, like, I watched it when I was, like, 4 or 5, man. Like, it's been ages.
Like I said, it's gonna make me feel and sound really old.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, definitely that type of vibe, though. Definitely a little bit of knickknacks, random artifacts, things you probably wouldn't know. There's probably, like, some really more obscure books probably down here. And probably, there's probably a file cabinet. Let's be real. There's probably this big-ass file cabinet with who knows what in there. Like...
I don't know, you don't know, and you viewers will never know.
Yeah. We'll never know.
She sure as hell won't know.
Yeah, especially since it's probably in Iva's language, like natural language, which is not common.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Alright, let's get a little bit further down. The area should be soundproof. Just make sure to close the door. Thank you. Alright, go downstairs. Bob, you should be fine. It's metal.
Ding, 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 ding.
We really need to do something about that programming so you're allowed to go up wooden staircases. I really don't see why they did that to you.
Probably so he didn't walk up stairs that actually couldn't support his weight. And then cause structural damage that's literally, they're like, I guess the city's paying for it. God damn it.
Yeah, I feel like for her staircase, like, there's probably, like, I would imagine she'd have some type of, like, metal reinforcement underneath that wood for obvious reasons. She doesn't want people finding this, but yeah.
Yeah.
I do what the city would, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, no. They programmed their defense automaton with the restriction of it can't go up what appears to be wooden stairs.
Just didn't want it breaking things, which is fair. Because the amount of liability lawsuits they would have, it'd be bad.
There's nothing saying that he wouldn't make it up some stairs, and then it's cost? Like he makes it up to like floor 5 and then falls, and then because weight and momentum is a bitch, he just keeps falling through the building.
Oh man, yeah, I believe it. Also, side note, real fast before we get this going, I just want to put it out there. Anya, to make you, I don't know, this is probably not helping at all. However, Atlantis apparently came out in 2001. That shit old.
Why you gotta say it like that?
That was out before I was born. Like, I don't mean it in a mean way.
I remember that shit coming out.
I'm coming back. I'm back.
I remember that shit coming out, and I remember it going to VHS, and
yeah. If it makes you feel any better, my family had the VHS version of the movie. That's the reason why I actually even got to watch it, because it never came up on TV. It was just like something that we had a VHS of at one point. Oh, man.
Yeah.
It never came out in Blu-ray. There's only a DVD version now. Yeah. So.
Okay, so Bob would look at Chi and Iva and then would, in the most systematic way, go, would you like the general version or the what I can deem as relevant?
All information.
You see that small blip across his screen.
We about to get an audiobook, y'all.
As you see, you can almost see his sensors in his processor. You start to hear the very, very quiet sound of like clicking of what is probably his processor going from standard to overdrive.
Oh man.
Iva, I don't think he's supposed to be making that noise.
It's okay. Give him some time.
Yeah, because here's the thing, right? There are automatons built for this sort of purpose.
Yeah,
They have
not one
They have extremely powerful processors that can process like thousands of words of information in seconds.
Yeah.
Bob
Is a defense unit.
His processor is designed to calculate the trajectory of a bullet. Not look at the words on a page.
It's meant for faster reaction, but not as much like memory, essentially. Like
careful analysis is not his thing.
he's CPU. The others are GPU. See, that's it. I don't know if that's even right. Like I don't know how computers work, man. I'm just kind of guessing here.
Anyway, he would go, and I will be real. You can see, understood. I will still summarize.
Let's start with the things that are more generalized, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So, he would note that from the very beginning of this, with the 5 Great Purges, which is the biggest thing he was trying to read, they are all one person's fault.
What?
Literally one guy years ago, 30,000 years ago, type of years ago.
Yeah.
There was global houses that worked together for the betterment of the world.
Uh-huh.
Each with representations from differing countries, differing groups, and there was multiple houses from different countries. All working together. 2, for the betterment of the world. Some of them were more magical. Some of them were more machinist. And the world as a whole was kind of split in half. Kind of more leaning machinist than magical, but you had a lot of people who knew magic, you had a lot of wizards, you had some witches, some warlocks, a whole lot of people who, there's the magical side is kind of more like your standard D&D magical people.
Yeah.
While the mechanical is like hyper artificers. Like super artificers level artificery.
Yeah.
And this one guy was a part of that faction, the machinist, and through events and through his own connections, and his name was, I got to I'll send this, was William Aquilio, Aquiliaro? Well, I wrote up the name. Aquilaro. Of House Aquilaro. This guy had something just against magic? Like, damn near as a whole.
People don't need a reason, they're just idiots.
Which actually, on a side note, Iva, give me a history check.
I will roll a history check. I'll have you know.
Yeah. As for the first thing, there was many attacks from many great magical creatures, such as dragons and drakes, and just... Yeah, what's your history?
23.
Got it. I'll DM you something.
Cool.
But I'm gonna finish all this because this is gonna take me a minute.
That's fair. That's fair.
In the first whole thing, there was many attacks from drakes, magical beasts, elemental lions, elemental creatures, just elemental creatures and magical beasts being creatures and beasts. They don't care who you are. You're in their territory. Die.
Yeah.
Do this thing called fucking off.
Yeah.
This is my home, not yours.
Yeah. And many of those beasts, namely some of the dragons, had unironically been there way longer. So when these new cities started popping up, they were less than kind about it if the people of that city were not careful in how they acted. Some of the more magical cities were able to get away with it because they, through magic and through just general dealing with creatures of magic, they had a much easier time appeasing these creatures than the machinists, who didn't deal with these creatures. So when a dragon came and started getting pissed, it kind of went south really fast. Because eventually somebody panicked and shot a gun, and suddenly the dragon says, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna kill all of you." So William Archilio, right? Archilio?
Acarillo.
Acarillo.
Aquilaro.
I wrote it out and I had it and I just forgot. I'm
William
sorry.
Armadillo.
Shut up. He eventually pushed through his own connections, through the houses and through his own things. He pushed for one major, and this wasn't even something he did quickly. Over the course of like 15 years, he slowly convinced a lot of the houses of the machinists, and even some of the magical ones, though it was for them, it was more of like, some of them didn't fully understand probably what he meant.
Yeah.
He meant just the evil ones, would be the magical people's way of handling it. Don't kill the good ones, just kill the bad ones. Like the really vengeful ones. Like the giant red dragon that's torching cities for sport. I can see why you want to kill that one.
Yeah.
But the bronze one that's just mad chillin', leave him alone.
The bronze one that's helping the blacksmiths.
Yeah, leave him be. Yeah, so he...
Oh. He
With
what?
that.
He what? Yo, Internet, what you doing? What you doing? We were doing fine.
And...
Internet, hello? Hi? Hello? Are we gone?
Back. Alright.
Okay, we're pausing, everybody. We're back. I don't even remember what was the last thing I heard was. Discord was being a pain in the neck.
Yeah, so, in any case,
Yeah, I heard he, and then it was like he what? And then I never heard anything past that.
yeah, so,
Kill even
Acarilla,
dragons.
William convinced many groups to actually vote and go through with the first purge.
Yeah.
Which was successful, enormously, actually. In the fact of literal entire species of creatures just stopped existing. Like, dragons were near wiped off the planet. Elementals were near wiped off the planet. Like, magical beasts and creatures just became a thing of, if you encountered one, that was a 1 in a billion chance. that thing is alive.
Yeah.
However, it wasn't, nowadays it's that bad, but at that time, they did notice that even after the purge, a couple years later, some magical beasts and creatures started reappearing, which a lot of them were traced back to that of users of differing planes, i.e. warlocks, those who serve outer beings and are capable of summoning those creatures. And many of them were secretly summoning beasts and then breaking the connection to the creature, but allowing it to retain in the world.
Yeah.
And then just letting it fuck off.
Because they're trying to fix the population problem that the freaking government created.
Yeah, so, hence came a secondary purge on all bearers of outer magic. So,
yeah.
Basically, to classify, it was just classified as warlocks, but it was basically just anyone who used outer beings magic, or outer, just anything outer, just died. Which, unironically, led to the death of several houses.
Yeah.
Which caused a slight shake of the global accord. Oh, I wonder why.
I wonder.
And then a couple years later, more magical beasts started showing up. Now it's dragons. Oh, that's why. It's witches. They're the problem now. This train kept going. This push off of, it was this linking problem of, essentially, because William already had basically most of the mechanical side on his side, and they held the majority.
Yeah.
A lot of these purges were able to go through, especially with the witch one, without much difficulty. Which led to a lot of the magic users, a lot of the magical houses backing out and just leaving. Because they realized there was nothing they could do.
Yeah.
And many of them, they were known to, however, either harbor witches or warn them. Going, hey, you're about to have a bunch of automatons / artificers on your doorstep. I don't know if you have countermeasures, but I'd prep some lightning magic.
Yeah.
Which, by them doing that then led to the battle for what was considered basically the planetary war. Which was the war of tomes and spells versus iron and steel. Which would basically determine how the world would be today. The world y'all are in. Because of the world y'all are in, y'all already know who won. And a war that took almost 100 years of constant battling. Of artificers making new warforges, preparing even stronger war automatons that, based off the descriptions that they're being seen, they make Bob look like a scrap unit. Some of the automatons they made to battle the mages of that era.
Yeah.
And it was shown, and then this is also where Bob brings up a lot of weird notes. He notes that there was a lot of mana users who were capable of regenerating limbs on them being blown off.
Like a certain someone. Not quite, not to that extent, obviously, but we do have a rookie.
They were seen to... There were several times where the automatons started using explosive ammunition to try and kill the mana users faster. And even ones that were seen to be using fire or lightning magic, they would get shot and their wounds would heal. And it was realized that it seemed all mana users were capable of regenerating by some regard by sacrificing their mana to heal. But from what they were able to gauge, it was extremely taxing. However, it was also seen that the mana healing on themselves was far more effective than them trying to heal others, which is why they always seemed to prioritize healing themselves, so others didn't have to waste more energy healing them. Now, the ones that couldn't heal themselves obviously had to be healed, or they just outright died before it really mattered. But he does note that there are noted of people, and he brings this up, similar to Chi, who it seemed their only gimmick was being able to heal. And those people often ran on the front lines in front of other magic users, tanking the brunt of the frontal assault damage and regenerating the entire time. And when they hit the front line, the other casters came from behind them and started actually doing damage to the automatons. Like, there is notes of a healing person having their torso near, like, their shoulder blown off and their heart destroyed, and it was seen their body regenerated it just as quickly as it was destroyed.
Yeah.
She looks very confused.
As essentially the type of mana power you guys are seeing from that era is essentially just unknown to this world at this point. You're seeing, like, people, the way that it's described in some of the way that people were able to do things, you're seeing references of ice magic being able to completely disrupt the entire environment in matter of minutes. This one user is able to cause entire fog to cascade over the entire battlefield, disrupting the automaton's ability to aim. Lightning users being able to take out swaths of automatons in a couple bursts of lightning.
Mm-hmm.
And users of fire being able to scorch entire fields in seconds. And then you have these other ones who are running in between them, healing people. While also getting shot repeatedly, usually.
Yeah.
And over the course of that war, it became almost they realized that there was essentially a technique that they discovered was not limited to just those users that could heal, but was what was nicknamed a global ability, that any mana user could use it. It was just whether or not they figured it out. But some were either blessed or cursed to have it as their primary ability, which was that of essentially compressed mana. Which their mana is more compressed naturally than other users, which is more like their mana is a lot looser and flows around a lot easier. While healing users, their mana is extremely compressed and doesn't like to shift very much. And so when they use it, it's just that healing energy, which is way more effective on themselves than on others. Which, unironically, Chi would be able to remember a point where she healed her shoulder, and unironically, within the day, it was fine. It is almost like it did. It still happened. There was still like a scar, but it was scabbed over and healed up within a day when that should have taken
At least 3 weeks.
Yeah. No, you're looking at wounds that should have healed way slower, healing in days rather than weeks. And it even is noted that the users of the healing were capable of reviving fallen users, but even for them, it seemed that reviving was just as taxing it was extremely taxing for them to resurrect people, and it seemed to exhaust them quite a lot. Meaning they didn't use it really. They used it extremely sparingly. And typically in a desperate bid to attempt to win a battle. And try to bring some people who they knew were on the more powerful side back. To try and teach the next generation of casters. But eventually, an endless flood of robots versus people who have to learn and train and dedicate years of their life to mastering a craft, and when a lot of the best users are getting shot before they're able to do anything sometimes, it kind of cascaded into once the automaton and once the robots and the mechanists started winning, it kind of just became a snowball to where essentially all of the magic based houses were wiped out. And in some cases it was theorized that there were some like distant relatives of those houses that went into hiding and all but abandoned their magic. But for those that did, and Bob has a theory based off his statistics, there is absolutely no way all of those users had to be wiped out, because the only way some people nowadays would have such a natural attunement to their mana, such as Ryu or Nylon, or even Chi, even having it awakened after, from somewhere in that bloodline, there had to be someone who had it to a knowledge that it would be able to be passed down. Meaning, Nylon only has his blood magic to such a degree because someone far down in his bloodline from way ago was likely a master of blood magic and decided at some point during the war to abandon it entirely and pretend they were just a normal person. Bidding to live to see another day instead of fighting to die today.
Can't blame them.
Give up. They basically gave up what they believed in to keep living.
I mean, in a way, they pass down knowledge to the next generation in a weird way. So
through generations later, you now have people like Nylon and Ryu who figured out their magic, and it's like this, for them, it's like this suppressed canister of energy that they're sitting there like, why do I have so much? Well, because long fucking time ago, you had an ancestor who literally his entire body was basically full of mana because he'd mastered his craft to that degree. And even that blood user, while using their own blood as magic, could regenerate that blood as quickly, so they're effectively not taking damage from their own spells. They don't have the limitation that Nylon does. They could heal. He can't. Or he doesn't know how. So Bob brings out that there is, and after the casters were eventually taken down, it wasn't long after, like literally within a couple months after the final casters were taken out, they took down those that followed the gods. Because casters, of which everyone who follows a god is, to some degree, even paladins are casters. Sure, they're not heavy casters, but they're still casters. Yeah. They fought alongside mana users. They harbored and healed mana users who they were like, no, I support you. I just can't help you. Not directly.
Not to mention, there's also, like, I know this is a very specific minority, but there is also technically just celestial bloodline summoners, or sorcerers. Not summoners, sorcerers. Because those are people that are blessed by the gods and given power. That's like a whole, I know that's like a very side tangent thing, but I imagine they probably fell into the purge with the Paladin era, I'm guessing.
With the Zealots, yeah. With anyone who was deemed to have followed the gods, and even those who were blessed by the gods, it was literally a thing of like, I didn't... Bro, what? And they're shot for simply having the gods' magic.
Yep.
And what happened and is denoted in the book as not long after the final death of the bulk of the followers of any god, when the last follower fell, a calamity that has never been seen again occurred, where it seemed like the planet itself turned against the people. Earthquakes started erupting, the seas turned violent and started near intentionally slamming ships into rocks. The sky started striking down any plane that dared to fly.
Yeah.
It was deemed that the gods bid one final Armageddon and then left. Or in a final bit of just, you know what? I've got a little bit of power left from the last of my followers. You know, I'm gonna use it to spite you.
Fair. No, blame him.
And it was even denoted that those that seemed close to death just couldn't die during that time. So you had people who were on death's door for months, and they just couldn't die. Because death was gone.
Yep.
Death wasn't doing their thing. And it was and there were a few that deemed that maybe, just maybe, at some point they fucked up.
Oh, man.
But at that point, little late. But that was what, and something else that he discovered in his notes was that the users of the robot, the mechanist, essentially figured out that there were several ways to disable magic users. Mm-hmm. Several ways to dismantle mana users. The biggest one being they needed both their core available and their heads. Because if their brain took too much damage, they couldn't heal. And if their abdomen took too much damage, they couldn't use their magic in general. They couldn't use their abilities in general.
Yeah.
Unless they were healed. It was also figured out that there were runes that could be done, and if they were done correctly, it could temporarily, usually only temporarily, disable the person's mana entirely. Though, depending on the power of the user, the duration could range anywhere from a couple seconds, because there's notes of them using it on some of the more powerful ones, or even just ones who were extremely adept, and they're able to break out in less than 30 seconds. And users who were novices being in that for until they died, which was usually within a minute, but they theorized it could last up to an hour for people like that.
Yeah.
Bob has done what he can. He would denote that he has done what he can to synthesize what the rune / mechanism would look like, based off its description. And he will get that to y'all
Chi would honestly look at Bob and
Essentially,
just... Don't bother. Don't bother trying to recreate it.
It would be good to at least know what it might look like.
Iva, take my word for this. Don't try to recreate it.
I don't wish...
It's bad enough one of us already knows what it is.
So you know...
No, this is... So it would be different than the rune carved into a person. Because he's talking about an actual mechanism that you attach to a person.
I'd figured it would be the same thing.
It's a more powerful version, effectively. Like, Bob would denote the rune carve, and this are two different things. He would also mention that there is carving a rune into a person, but that has been deemed ineffective against highly skilled users.
The only reason why I recommend we at least try to learn, and I understand it goes against your liking, we have a boy up there, and you know who I'm talking about. He is dealing with mana that can't be dealt with naturally. His body's holding out against it for now, doesn't mean it'll hold out forever. If this mechanism was strong enough to hold that type of mana back, we might be able to completely force that infection out of him with this mechanism. I don't like the idea of it, obviously. It's not something that our people should have ever made. And it's obvious that this entire mess is purely created by our ancestors. Every single idea that I've heard so far is quite honestly outrageous, and these aren't just a purge, these are genocides. That being said, it would be good to have this information. I don't like it either. Though I am surprised that you know a rune version of this. Though it's not surprising that's been passed down, since we've seen that version. I'm guessing you know what was used for red, Nylon?
I was forced to learn it just in case.
Of course I did. That makes sense that you were his escort. We can get back to the recreation, or at least an understanding of what the mechanism would look like later, but I do think that would be worth actually looking into, as much as I hate to say it.
If only so we can destroy it if we find it.
I would say that, and again, if that looks to be the only cure for him, I think that's a better cure than letting him succumb to becoming a Wendigo, would you not?
If Bob is correct and people like me were able to heal others, to the extent that we could regenerate things, I'd at least like to try that first.
Well, we can try that. I'm not pushing against that. Just, the question comes into play. Healing, at least from my understanding, I don't have mana, but from my understanding, healing's different from mana outright, but I know you have healing mana. What I'm trying to get at is, this isn't just normal damage to the body. This is mana itself engraving and forcing like a parasite. Is that something you think you could force out with your mana?
It's worth a shot.
Okay.
If whatever this is trying to infect people with mana, then maybe there's a way to force it out.
Understood.
I already had used quite a bit of healing mana on him. Maybe that's why he's capable of fighting it for so long.
It's possible. At the very least, it might at least be acting as a form of resistance, or perhaps delaying the inevitable. I don't know. Obviously, I'm willing to work with you on this as long as physically possible. I'd rather not recreate it myself either. But understand that if it gets bad enough, we are going to have to make a decision of putting him down or making that mechanism.
I'm not going to force him to suffer through living with that.
Of course, it'd be
If
up
it comes
to
to it, I'd rather put him out of his misery.
I can agree, though it should be his decision. It's his life.
Then we should be asking him and not speculating.
Of course, I just would rather talk about it while we can in privacy before we have to bring it to him. It's better that we get our heads clear instead of arguing in front of him. I think we can both agree on that.
Let me work with Nylon. I have an idea as to something that might work.
Okay.
If it fails and there doesn't seem to be any improvement, then we'll discuss it.
I'm fine with that.
Bob, by the way, just stands there.
Continue, Bob.
You can tell. But I said that's right. Yes, I did. Hell yeah. Bob would denote that there is also, he saw in the later texts of the book, it was denoted that in this country, it was rumored that somewhere in the that essentially on a mountain that stands alone in exclusion for a train that rides by it, like an old train, there is a dragon that hides out in that mountain. Mm-hmm. Which, by his own things, he can calculate about 3 different mountains that meet that description. And there is one in particular that is close by. Close as in it's a couple days away, but it is closer than it is a couple days away by flying. Flying with the flying car. But by his own calculations of what he knows about the geography of the country, with what's programmed into him, there is a mountain such as that does exist nearby. Though, based off what he has read on the calculations of red dragons, those seem to be the most violent.
Yeah.
So, there is that light meaning of error. Like, meaning of concern. Like, hey, let's not do something too hasty.
Yeah.
That Bob would have a light, kind of almost rebooting moment. As his processor would calm the fuck down. He would inform y'all that as of this moment, that is all the information he can come to mind at the moment. His processor has overheated.
Understood.
He will, if there is more that comes back, he will inform y'all another day.
Alright. I imagine it would eventually, because that's like, I feel like that's a small portion of the information in that book, considering it's about the entire Wendigo situation, and we haven't even actually heard the Wendigo side of things.
Yeah, no, there's it's a book revolving around a lot.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Alright.
And the last, he would have denoted that the last thing was about things like this that could have been it. So Yeah.
Okay.
But the processor overheating with Bob having worked those 36 hours of scanning, it's one of those like, I'm not trying to short circuit myself.
Yeah.
And also that is where we're going to be ending off with that.
Alright. Thank you all for watching this episode. You can find more of the Frostbite campaign up on the Lost Shipyard. If you want to find other campaigns like this, we have that one that's currently up, Profit Campaign. And we also have a Lost Hour Tavern. Which is our main channel. We have a different one going on right now. We have Deadwood. Go check that one out. That's also a really good one. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.